Oh, yes. Welcome to Doug in Exile. Shout out to the Quad Club, the people that watch all 4 videos all day. Yes. And now we have opened up memberships, and I have 100 new members. And you know what that means? I owe you guys a live stream for everyone, a bonus episode. Not sure what I'm going to do, but watch for it. I have the best audience ever. And part of it is you guys were enamored by this young gal, Ellie Mae. Welcome to Doug in Exile.
At this point, I don't want to hear another Democratic House representative talk about how intelligent they are when people like Eric, Jasmine Crockett, AOC, Ilhan Omar, and the like don't understand what the filibuster means.
Whoops.
Okay, they're all essentially putting up the same talking point that Republicans can unilaterally open back up the government even though they all know it's not true, which is why they had to sugarcoat and sweet talk Republicans to vote along with them so we didn't have a government shutdown during all 4 years of Joe Biden's term. This continuing resolution is the same resolution that Democrats voted for all during Joe Biden's term and during the first time it was introduced during Donald Trump's term this time. They say that they just needed a simple majority in order for Republicans to not shut down the government. We had 55 votes in the Senate. The government still got shut down. So what does that tell you? You restart.
I like this because she explains the rules, which are very convoluted, but she explains them back to Democrats that are in office. We're going to get back to more of her first. Medicare premiums are going up and many Medicare Advantage plans are going away. You can trust me when I say that Chapter is here to help. So what is Chapter? Okay, first I'm going to show you, these are actual examples of you that I just called from the audience yesterday, which is what you say. Hey, Doug, I called Chapter and they said I had a good policy. They couldn't switch me to anything that would really make a big difference. The man I connected to was honest and kind. Here's another one. Thanks, Doug. I do need to review my Medicare coverage. It definitely seems like they cover less and less every year. And then this last one, Chapter is helping me. People who are here on Doug in Exile, you guys trust me when I say you can trust Chapter. Trust them with a free phone call. On average, they save my seniors $1,100 a year. Just call for your unbiased Medicare help. Dial 631-961-8696. That's the number that helps out this channel. When you call 631-961-8696, call Chapter today. Okay, now let's get back to Ellie Mae's Twitter page. Look what she writes. So we had Senator Mike Lee and now Thomas Massie, she's complimentary about trying to bring back truth back to the American public. Here's Thomas Massie on. I introduced the HR 5704 to repeal the 2013 Smith-Mundt Modernization Act. That was the first one that Ellie Mae posted about, was to reverse it, to stop federally funded propaganda. Taxpayer-funded fake news should not be used by the State Department to wage influence campaigns against the American people. There's the bill. You know, hats off to Thomas Massie on that. I don't have to agree with him on everything, but I'll call a ball and a strike a strike. Here's Trump at that round table with RFK Jr. I found this one fascinating.
By the time this administration is over, we will have 95% of the drugs in this country will be the lowest price in the world. It immediately begins to affect Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, the other government programs.
That goes back to keeping Medicare, Medicaid, and our health care affordable. RFK Jr. said, thanks to Trump, our prescription drugs will be the lowest they've been. So looking forward to that. That also affects my seniors and the medicine that they're on. Here's John Thune over on CNBC.
Right now, it has to be subsidized.
And partly because Obamacare at its core is inflationary. It's been driving up costs. I mean, the fundamental problem here is the underlying program, which again needs to be reformed. And the president wants to do that. The president would like to overhaul Obamacare and give people health insurance that is higher quality and more affordable.
Who here doubts that Trump could do that? Removing Obamacare and removing the Affordable Care Act, which is misnamed by the Democrats. It's always a lie. Affordable Care Act is not affordable at all. That's what came out this week, only 20 years too late. Everyone goes, oh, Obama, he was lying when he said that your costs would go down. Trump could actually reform it and go even farther than just your prescription medicine going down. he might be able to redo the entire thing. But wait, there's more. This is a great Fox.
Students at Rutgers University in New Jersey are trying to ban the school's Turning Point USA chapter. They started a petition that claims the group has been continuously promoting hate speech, inciting violence against the community, and creating...
That's Rutgers claiming that Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA promotes hate speech, as they shot him in the neck and he died. A youth did this. Democrats did this. And now they're trying to stop TPUSA from showing up at Rutgers University. Do not give to any of your university alma maters, to my people out there who went to college. Do not give them if they don't allow TPUSA, Turning Point USA, on their campus.
A toxic environment, and it already has over 2,000 signatures. Turning Point officers say the petition is defamatory. Meanwhile, the chapter launched their own petition to remove this professor, citing concerns over his past statements that allegedly support Antifa. He is the author of the book Antifa, the Anti-Fascist Handbook.
Okay, that is one of their professors wrote the Antifa Fascist Handbook, is allowed to teach at Rutgers. Trump just now put Antifa on as the American terror watch list. They're literally the enemy within. They have a teacher there, Rutgers University. Do not send your kids, or pay for your many of you are paying for your grandkids' college. Do not do it. Here's Chris Cuomo. We're going to get some Bill O'Reilly in here too, but first let's do Chris Cuomo.
Scared me most after the personal feelings about the loss of such a young man who was followed by so many, and what it meant to his wife and his babies. Once I could get past that, what scared me the most, Andrew, was the yeah, but. Yeah, but is really frightening.
That's a Democrat, Chris Cuomo. You're in the wrong party. Yeah, but after Charlie Kirk was shot and he heard his side say, yeah, but what about his hateful rhetoric? Anytime they say, yeah, but they're implying that he deserved it, because they go, yeah, but what about his rhetoric? Yeah, but what about him disagreeing with us? Yeah, but what about his alleged hate speech?
It comes to a moral analysis. Okay. Yeah, look, it's wrong to kill somebody, but no but.
There's a but on your side. There's a yeah, but. Your whole party. I don't know why you're still there on Charlie Kirk stuff. Here's Trump's Gaza deal. I liked this meme, this comic made. Here's Marco Rubio leaning over to when he whispered to Trump during that round table about the peace deal announced. And it's a major victory for the Trump administration. Here's the poor Gazan praying, please work. Here's the blue-haired woke person with a trans flag. It says, please fail. These are Democrats over here praying to Moloch or to Satan that the peace deal, they want it to fail because they don't want Trump to have a victory. And here's many Gazans and many people in Israel, many of them poor women, even in a hijab, going, please work. Because Democrats are the enemy of civilization, Western civilization, and normal people everywhere. Here's Rich Grinnell. This is Barack Obama, who will not thank President Trump. Look at this. This is President Obama is such an arrogant jerk. Barack Obama, after 2 years of unimaginable loss. Whose fault was that, Barack? And suffering for Israeli families and the people of Gaza. We should all be encouraged and relieved that an end to the conflict is within sight. Because of who, Barack? Say his name. Say his name. That those hostages still being held will be united with their families, and that vital aid can start reaching those inside Gaza whose lives have been shattered. More than that, though it now falls on Israelis and Palestinians, with the support of the U.S. and the entire world community, to begin the hard task of rebuilding Gaza and to commit to a process that, by recognizing the community, humanity, and the basic rights of both people, can achieve a lasting peace. No thanks to you. No, we're going to replay that video in a minute of Trump saying Barack Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize for nothing. Here's Alex Bruzewitz talking to Obama. You received a Nobel Participation Trophy. Trump should win the real thing. By the way, guys, I got to tell you something. Put on your big boy pants. We're adults here, right? Because the world is not fair. I only want you to know Barack Obama can get all the Nobel Peace Prizes and medals. You can give a Medal of Honor. You can give him all the literary prizes, all the accolades. It means nothing. Trophies are nothing if they're a lie. Trophies are nothing. His Academy Award, Netflix deals, all the money in the world. Guys, it is meaningless if it's behind a lie. So he's a lie. He's sitting there looking at his Nobel Peace Prize. He's probably crying and probably burning it right now going, I know. This means nothing. It was given to me over a lie. I actually don't think he even lies to himself and goes, I earned this. I earned this. And likewise, you cannot give Trump the Nobel Prize for Peace. And it doesn't matter because we know that Trump actually brought peace. A trophy is a symbol of the reality of what happened. So it's a lie if it's given to Obama. And if it's withheld from Trump, it's a lie. See what I mean? The trophy itself, all it does is it ends up discrediting itself if it gives a Nobel Prize for Peace to Obama, who was a warmonger, or to Biden. I don't think Biden got anything. But here's when you come late and drunk, knowing you're still, oh man, I can't read that one. I'm sorry. Just to be clear, I dropped a bomb every 20 minutes for 8 years. There's Barack Obama with his Nobel Prize for Peace. Here's another one by Rich Grinnell says, the fire starter is praising the firemen. That's Barack Obama, who started the modern Middle East fire. He and Joe Biden. Okay. Here's Bill O'Reilly about the left, and I love this too.
I make fun of Pritzker. He's the worst governor by far. He's worse than Newsom.
Really?
But
she can't believe it. What do you mean Pritzker in Chicago is worse than Newsom? Bill O'Reilly's going to call him out for how murderous he is.
Gosh.
Believe me, this guy. And here's why he's worse. In Chicago, Cook County, it's like LA, where you live. It's a Democratic stronghold like New York City. And for more than a decade, thousands of poor people have been murdered, mostly on the south side of Chicago. 80% African-American.
Blacks.
I know that.
They've been murdered by drug gangs, heavily armed, younger black men who basically fight over turf. If you call the police on these gangs, they'll kill you and your family, like the cartels in Mexico. These are unbelievably evil people. Pritzker has been governor, 8 years? He's not done one thing to mitigate all of that murder. Not one thing. Yet, when Trump offers another blanket of protection for those poor black people, by sending federal authorities to Chicago, as he did in D.C., Pritzker calls him a Nazi.
Trump tries to help black people, and Pritzker calls them a Nazi. That's how it works. Trump's trying to save black people from being murdered, and that is the Democrat Party. We never put an X next to a Democrat. That's why. And I'm generally happy because the Democrat Party got kicked in the crotch. They're going down. Okay. In general, they're in decline. They're on the run. I'm so happy when every once in a while, God does what I want. Okay. When I see something, I go, God, that over there, I like that. Keep doing that. Keep destroying the Democrat Party because our country is safe if they're properly destroyed. But wait, more good news. Here's breaking. A Trump-appointed prosecutor presented evidence to a federal grand jury Thursday, why that would be today, seeking an indictment on charges of mortgage fraud against the new Attorney General Letitia James, the New York Attorney General Letitia James. So,
Kristen, I understand we have some legal breaking news. Yeah, we have just learned that New York Attorney General Letitia James, who obviously brought the charges and won against President Donald Trump, has just been indicted by the Department of Justice. This was a case that President Trump wanted to be brought. It's a mortgage fraud case, and it's also what led to the leaving of the U.S. Attorney in the Eastern District of Virginia. Eric Siebert would not bring these charges. We heard he had reservations about bringing these charges, and instead he left that position, and President Trump handpicked Lindsay Halligan to serve as the U.S. Attorney in that district.
We're going to get her working on it. She's not out of the woods yet. But wait, there's more. Here's Jack Posobiec's tweet. The Washington Post says, yes, Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. His Gaza agreement, though still fragile, that's not Trump's fault that it's fragile, adds to an unprecedented peacemaking record. Here's the comments. When did hell freeze over?
President Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize.
He got a prize for doing nothing.
Exactly.
Obama got a prize. He didn't even know what he got. He got elected, and they gave it to Obama for doing absolutely nothing but destroying our country.
Thank God. The patriots, voted, you went like this to the Democrats and Marxist and Satanism and said, I'm done with the lies. I'm going to vote for the orange man. Let's give him a shot. And he brought peace in a way I am skeptical. I could never imagine that he brought peace to the Middle East. And he did it. God is good. I'm Doug in Exile. Subscribe.